So it took a few weeks. What is today? Today is April 29. I picked up my bees on April 9. I installed them in the hive on April 10. Then on April 11 we had a snowstorm, and we've had winter weather ever since. It's been in the 30s at night and barely getting into the 50s in the day. Today is April, what is it? April 29, 2022, and finally got some warm weather. It's right around 70 or so. And the scouts finally found these frames that I wanted to clean off. And so here we see the bees. What they're doing is they're going in and they're gonna suck up all the honey, eat some, and then take the rest back to their hive. And I'm hoping within a couple days this will all be cleaned off, and then I can take these away. So one thing I'm doing that a lot of videos I see, they say that don't do this near your hive. And you can see the hive is over there. It's about 20 feet away. But the thing is, maybe 30 feet. The thing is, I only have one hive. And all the videos you see on TV, they have a half a dozen hives and bees everywhere. And so if you put something like this in front of a hive, all the other hives are going to attack it. But I only have one hive, and there might be another natural hive somewhere in the neighborhood, because that's the whole reason why I got bees, because I saw some honeybees a couple years ago, and that's what got me interested to begin with. But I'm keeping an eye on it, and I don't see any real activity at the hive. So, but now that it's warm, looks like they've cleaned out quite a bit of these. Still some left. I think it might be because this is old nectar and old pollen. Maybe they don't like the old stuff, so they haven't cleaned those off. No bees at the water hole today. So they're not touching all this wax yet either. Then these, I did see some scouts. There's one bee right there. She's cleaning this off. I did see some other bees here earlier. I also saw a lizard hanging out. We got these skinks, also called bluebellies, that I hate. I didn't mind them before I got bees, but then, and I didn't mind when they were eating the bees that were crawling on the ground dying, but then they started hanging out here at the water hole, which was why I have it up on bricks now. I had this out on the ground, and then these lizards were just sitting on the ground at the water hole, picking off healthy bees, and I can't stand that. So if I see a lizard now, I kill it. I don't know. Before I got bees, I didn't mind them because they eat insects, but not these. I'm trying to look out for my bees. So, see what kind of activity we got going on. Not a lot coming in. There's some pollen. Ooh, legs are stuffed with pollen. There's another pollen. So there's a steady stream returning with pollen. Half the bees I just saw go in here have pollen. Look at them all with pollen. So they found a good pollen source. I opened up the hive one time, and I took out the queen cage, and I put some old pollen inside in an old feeder. And I'm going to do another video when I do an inspection. My goal this year is to do as few inspections as possible, just stay out of the hive. But I will do one little thing right now. The good thing about these lay-ins hives, so let me tell you something about the lay-ins. You see there's two entrances. Theoretically, I could put a dividing board right in the middle, and because of the way the frames are, I could have two hives if I had to. Another good thing about these lay-ins, I can open it up. See, there's all the pollen. I put this pollen in there. Looks like they haven't touched it. They're not coming on, and I can smell it. I was hoping that they would clean all that off. Maybe they're not into it. And this is a temporary board. So what I want to show you is on the lay-ins hive, the top is all sealed. So you can open up this, and I can look at this one little part here, and it doesn't disturb the bees. And let's see if you can see this yellow here, and in between the frames, that's propolis. So my goal is to not disturb the propolis as much as possible. I'm going to do inspection this weekend. This is disappointing. I thought they'd be all over this pollen in here. I'm not sure what to do with it. Anyway, and this is temporary. I have to wrap this. I only put this in here because it was so cold. It's hitting the 30s every night. So I just put this temporary, but I have to wrap this in a polyethylene, I think it's called, so that they don't, so that all this, the foam doesn't get inside the hive. Anyway, so that's it for today. Nice steady stream of bees coming in for the night. A lot of them just loaded up with pollen, not so much those. That one's got pollen a little bit. And that's what you want to see. All right, I'll see you next time. Oh, I used to have tape on these, and the bees didn't like the tape. Well, this one's coming around. She's not, it's coming near my face. The bees didn't like the tape, and I put tape on these because it's sharp, and I thought if I'm handling this, I don't want to cut myself. But then I realized the bees hated the green tape, and it really, I don't handle enough that it bothers me. So I took all the tape off, I cleaned them off, I scrubbed off most of the glue, give that nice silver look. Another thing about this hive, this is the very first hive I built in 2020, and I put bees in it last year in 21, but I didn't do a good job of sanding and sealing it. So, see, this is a fiberglass resin. I did a terrible job. The second hive I did is much better, and I probably should have put these bees in the other hive, but now that they're here for this year, I'm going to leave them till next year. But what I'll do is take this apart next year, and I'm going to sand it and restain it and refinish it, make it look good. But I don't want to disturb them this year. And a lot of this is because in Reno it's very dry and it's windy. This was on the side of the house, and this is get away from me. This is wind damage. This one's just like, won't leave me alone. This is all wind damage just blowing through the side of our house. This is why I moved it here to the center. This was on the west side. And the wind just blew it all off. So anyway, they're getting a little upset with me, buzzing around my face. All right, I'll see you next time.